City Council, Tuesday, April 25th. Please stand for our invocation led by Bill Harkins, Deacon at St. Ignatius Parish, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Dear Lord, we thank you for so many blessings today. We thank you for your creation, not that you just made everything that we can see and those we can't see, but also that you sustain it, even though we take that for granted. Dear Lord, we also thank you for creating us, each one of us, our brothers and sisters throughout the world, in your image and likeness. Let us remember that today as we look at each other, as we talk with each other. Let us see you in our friend. Dear Lord, we thank you for your community, the city of Mobile. We've been blessed so many ways we can't count them all. And I ask your blessing in particular on the leadership today, our council and the mayor, their staffs. Give them all the wisdom and guidance as Joseph had in Egypt to take care of not just his own, but his whole community. And we ask your blessing on them all. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, President Gregory.
Here.
Vice President Richardson.
Here.
Councilmember Manzi.
Here.
Councilmember Small.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Days.
Here.
Councilmember Rich.
Here.
Statement of rules.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Great to see the crowd here today. We have some special proclamations coming up. One person in particular that I've had the opportunity to work with for many, many years, and we will get to that shortly. But thank you all for coming this morning. Our council rules are very simple. We just ask everyone to please turn off all of your electronic devices. If you come to the podium to speak, you'll have 5 minutes. At the end of 4 minutes, you'll hear the buzzer, and that's your indication to go ahead and start wrapping up your comments and then to have a seat. If you come to the podium and you have comments or questions, please direct those to me. I'm the chair, and I will direct the appropriate council member or member of the administration at that point to try to resolve your issues. Again, we thank you all for coming, a great crowd. Good to see you here this morning. Ms. Lambert?
Approval of minutes of April 18th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Communications from the mayor's office.
During the communications from the mayor's office, we are going to call on Carrie Golden, who will come and make give us some information about an event that's coming up, and you've got some guests here with you. And I know since the mayor has been very supportive of this, we wanted you to speak during his time.
Well, thank you for having us. We really appreciate that. We want to remind you about an event that's coming up this Saturday. It's a grassroots movement that started with one couple, Fred and Barbara Reddick, that had a vision that why can't we all come together as the city of Mobile and step out of our houses and walk our streets and pray over every street in the city of Mobile and cry out to God to bless our city. So Fred and Barbara asked a couple of friends to come over and listen to that, and that resonated, and they asked a couple of friends, and they asked a couple of friends, and then we talked to some pastors, and all of a sudden we had a big coffee with 140-something pastors, arm to arm, saying this is great, let's do this. Now it has grown into, we have websites that I would love for you to look at, because every little pin on the city is someone that is committed to pray for the city of Mobile. There are well over 2,000 that are on the streets for Mobile, but the people involved are up to about 6,000 to 8,000 now. We have 12 states around the country that have nothing to do with our city that are involved. We have 63 cities that have signed up. It is such an amazing thing that has happened. It's not a city event. I think some people are thinking it's a city event, but it's not. But we want you to know that one of our prayer points is praying for all of you. We will be praying for our city in ways for safety. We want violence to go away. Why wouldn't we ask the Lord to do that? We want there to be unity. You know, we want to head on deal with racism and that division that happens in our city. We want to stand together, shoulder to shoulder, and pray for the Lord to help us with that and to bless our city and take that away. But also our education system is one of the prayer points. All of you in authority and the mayor as well, we're praying for all of you. And then our final prayer point will be the Lord's Prayer. So we just want to ask you and invite you to get involved. People in your district could certainly use your help. They're open streets, so you can go to the website and see that. I just want to read one quick thing so you understand exactly what this is. It says, on April 29th, thousands of your neighbors will walk outside their doors and pray over their streets, and you could too. We are laying down differences to unify. We are one voice, one body, crying out to one God to heal our land. So sign up is easy. We've given you the prayer points. We've given you postcards. Everybody that hears this message, please sign up. There's still streets to be done, but in this one day, we will cover the whole city, and then we'll just sit back and can't wait to see what the Lord's going to do with that. So thank you.
That sounds great, Carrie. Thank you. Can you introduce everyone who's here with you?
Everybody just step up and introduce
Okay.
themselves. This is a small portion of our team.
Great morning, everyone. I am Cherie Shaw Lovett. I'm with the National Day of Prayer Task Force. I am the State of Alabama coordinator, and just want you to know National Day of Prayer Task Force is on board. Our chairman, Am Grand Lux, is in full support of what we're doing in our area, and we hope you also be involved. God bless you.
Great, thank you. Yeah, if we can just introduce yourself, that'd be great.
I'm Fred Reddick, the founder of the Canopy of Prayer. Thank you guys for supporting this. It's going to change our city. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Francis Agnew with the National Day of Prayer Task Force for the state of Alabama.
Good morning. Valina Green, Azalea City of CDC.
Good morning. Ermitine Thomas Chastain, just a prayer warrior.
My name is Carrie Coates, Kingdom Covenant Connections.
Doug Mitchell, have a nonprofit World Culture Club, prayer warrior with the folks.
All right.
I'm Woody Wood. I just here to help Fred.
Well, thank you so much for coming. We hope it's a wonderful event. I'm sure it will be. This is Saturday. And again, it's all day.
Starts at 9 a.m.
Also, we did
Yep.
not announce, but there will be a rally in Beeville Square at 5:30 in the evening that will kind of culminate all of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. 9 to 5, and then a rally in Beanville Square.
5:30.
5:30. Thank
Madam
you.
President.
Appreciate it. Mr. Daves?
Yep, Carrie. First of all, I want to commend all of you for the great work. This is a kind of grassroots organization that makes not only our city stronger, but any city stronger. And Carrie, I wonder if you could just take a minute to kind of go through the mechanics of how this works. But also, if you could send us a PDF on this, and we can put it on our newsletters, and we can reach a lot of people that way. Mm-hmm. So again, if you could kind of step through the mechanics of how it works for an individual. Let's say I wanted to do it. How does that work?
Okay, so we've made it super simple. The address, the web address is canopy.one, O-N-E. It's on all of our printed information. We have a Facebook page. If you forget that, it's Canopy of Prayer, and it will direct you to the website. You go to the website and say you want to be a prayer walker. You want to cover your street. So there is, it literally says sign up to pray. So you just put in your name, your address, your email address, and then you submit. And when you submit, that means you commit to praying over your street. There's a comment box if you want to pray around your business or other streets or whatever, you can do that as well. And so it's simply that easy. We are not using this database for anything else. It will completely go away. But the reason we do it that way is because then we pin every street on the map And that's what I want y'all to look at. It's called the street level canopy map that shows you everybody all over the United States, but obviously the conglomerate down here in Baldwin County and Mobile of where everybody is that's praying. So it's that simple. On the website, there's a resource page. It has the prayer points. You just print it out. It gives you the prayer points. We're all going to pray in unison, the 5 prayer points, and then pray how you're led. Whether your church wants you to pray something, if you're led to pray for specific things on your streets. We want to make sure that we have a unified voice, on this day. That's why we've given everybody these 5 prayer points, and they're the ones we brought up. There's nothing controversial there. It's things that our city needs. And so really, that's about as simple as it is. And then if you want to, afterwards at 5:30, we're going to have that wrap-up rally, and we'll have some people, there'll be music, and it's just a celebration of what's been accomplished. And then we'll share with y'all some of the stories we get from this event a little later on. So very simple, but we do need people to sign up because we don't know that street is covered if you haven't signed up on our website. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Carrie, I will tell you one thing. I have a community action group that is reforming, and their jumping off point will be Saturday for the Canopy of Prayer.
Oh, awesome.
Isn't that neat? Yeah.
Thank you all.
It's over in Middernite Park, LeBaron Woods area. And so
Yeah.
they are using the Canopy of Prayer as their way to get their neighbors back involved in the community action group.
Well, I just want y'all to know about the map and looking at that map, because it should be awesome for you to see the people that are praying for you in your positions and in your authority positions for the city. It's just a little,
Yeah,
it's
that
really
makes us-
awesome.
We
So
appreciate
for
that.
what
Thank
do.
you. Mr. Richardson, did you
Yes,
have?
yes, thank you, Madam President. I appreciate the presentation, the card here, but it's one day, one Bible, one God, and I have something for your consideration. We're also one race.
Yeah.
Acts 17:26 says, from one blood, God made all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth.
Amen.
We all came from Adam.
That's right.
And if you take your DNA, it's going to take you back where Adam was from. We're just one people. And our color has to do with where our ancestors landed. They had no melanin if they went to where it's cold. The melanin is in their skin if they stay where it was hot. The same identical people.
Amen. Preach on. I'm with you. The one-man theory. I'm with you. We are one.
Thank you. Mrs. Rich has a proclamation, and before she gets to the podium, I do want to recognize our judge, the presiding judge of our municipal court. That's Judge Holmes Whidden. And Judge, I suspect that you are here to be a part of this proclamation that is coming up. So thank you, Judge, for being here. Mrs. Rich?
Thank you so much. This is such a privilege for me on behalf of the city to recognize someone very, very special who recently retired, and that is Bob Haskins. And if he would come forward, and anyone else who is in this auditorium also, if you'll come and join us as I read this in his honor. Come on down.
Do you want everybody?
Yes, I do. I truly do.
Yeah, why don't they stand? Because there's a lot of...
Okay.
I think you want to come and be on the stairs. You want to be close to this, please, really. And for sure, your daughter. Okay, I'll let everyone kind of gather up some. And I knew we'd have a good showing, by all means. Whereas Mr. Robert or Bob Haskins retired after 30 years of dedicated service to the city of Mobile as Keep Mobile Beautiful, also known as KMB, coordinator just this Saturday on April 1st, 2017. Whereas his 30-year tenure, 2017, yes, his 30-year tenure began as a Keep Mobile Beautiful volunteer in 1987 with Executive Director Tika Wiseman. Later that year, he was hired as a Special Projects Coordinator, and he succeeded Mrs. Wiseman in 1993 as KMB Coordinator. And whereas Bob has garnered numerous national awards, including, and I'll read these, GLAD Bag-a-thon Award, numerous years, Keep Out America Beautiful Inner City Neighborhood Program, National Keep America Beautiful Outstanding Coordinator of the Year Award, Department of Energy Best Environmental Education Award, and Cash for Cans Award. And whereas with Municipal Judge A. Holmes Whidden, he helped to institute Mobile's Environmental Court, which held sessions in various locations around the city for better citizen access. He worked with community action groups since the program's inception. He was instrumental in household recycling, curbside programs in numerous years, and he helped to repurpose a former service station into the Mobile Recycling Center on Government Street in 1999, which was the city's first full-scale recycling center drop-off. And whereas a few of the signature projects that aided in making Keep Mobile Beautiful a household word include University Boulevard and DIP Crepe Myrtle Trails, the Clean Campus Program, trees planted on Old Shell Road, I-65, I-10, Mobile Street, Demetropolis Road, and Trinity Gardens neighborhood, Fish Hatchery Project, providing residential trash schedules and litter pickup kits, phone book recycling, electronic day recycling, annual hazardous waste collection days, Christmas tree recycling, mulch giveaway, and the KMB hotline, which allowed citizens to report littering. Now, therefore, I, Bess Rich, council member of District 6, along with the mayor and all the members of the Mobile City Council, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, April 25th, 2017, as Mr. Robert Bob Haskins Day in Mobile, and urge all our citizens to join us. It was long. You've done a lot. Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you.
Well, thank you. Thanks, everybody. I do appreciate it. It's been a wonderful time, and I've enjoyed working with all of you. And I hope to keep you doing great things. So keep at it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to especially recognize Linda Ingram, who was up here in the turquoise. Linda.
Thank you all for being here.
Madam President, while Bess is finding her seat.
Yes, sir. Mr. Wims, go ahead.
It was, I've been in office 10 years, and it was 15 years ago that, well, actually it was 14 years ago that I took my 3-year-old John Paul to Rooting for Mobile, I believe we called it, at the, it was an air gas, no, it wasn't air gas, but Next Air, Praxair facility to plant trees, and Bob was so patient with John Paul, as he was for 3 tree plantings after that. And I will never forget those days, and neither will my son. So thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President.
Mr. Small.
I would like to say congratulations to Mr. Bob. Your name had preceded yourself before I actually met you. I'm a member of the Oakdale Community Action Group, and I'm the representative for Keep Mobile Beautiful. Ms. Shirley Williams always talked about Bob. And I always wondered, who is this Bob person? So when I got on council, I had an opportunity and a great opportunity to meet you. And I do appreciate your work, and also the citizens of District 3 also. Thank you.
Madam President.
Mr. Richardson?
Normally, legends are born after they are deceased. Bob is a legend in his own time.
His own time. And Bob, before you get out of here, I just want to join my colleagues in thanking you for your service. And I can remember planting trees on Ziegler and Old Shell in particular. Also, all of the electronics drop-offs that we did out at the fairgrounds. Let's see, how to dispose of paint, Back when I was still at WKRG, I can remember many a time we stomped on plastic and aluminum and cardboard to show people how to get their products prepared to put in the bin. So it's been a long ride. Thank you, Bob, for everything you've done. We really appreciate it. All right, Mr. Manzi has a proclamation as well.
Just before, did he leave out? No. Just before Mr. Haskins leaves, I just want to also remark on how he's had an impact in District 2. The recycling center that we primarily use that has been available to the city of Mobile is located proudly in my district. I know that you were instrumental in that, and on behalf of the citizens of District 2, we thank you for all you've done to further the cause of recycling in our community. Thank you and have a happy retirement. It's my privilege now to call Miss Betsy Wooten and Miss Mary Ann Wilson. These distinguished ladies, along with everyone who's here, if you don't mind, if everyone would join, Miss Betty McShin, Miss Schwartz, if y'all could all come. All of these distinguished ladies are members of our League of Women Voters. And we heard earlier that the League has decided to honor one of our own by awarding her an award for transparency.
Yes.
Very well deserved. The League is meeting here in the city of Mobile in District 2, and I'm honored to read this proclamation and present one to Ms. Betsy Wooten, who is the past president, and, pardon me?
Yes, that's right. And our next president is Mary Ann Hall Wilson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
President-elect. And it reads thusly: whereas the League of Women Voters of Mobile is hosting the 2017 League of Women Voters of Alabama State Convention and Transparency Celebration on April 29th through the 30th, 2017, at Hampton Inn and Suites in Mobile's downtown historic district. And whereas the mission of this nonpartisan political organization is to encourage informed and active participation in government, work to increase understanding of major public policy issues that has fought since 1920 to improve our system of government and impact public policies through citizen education and advocacy. And whereas the League collaborates with other organizations to achieve mutual goals, increase civic participation, create lasting change in the community, and to make democracy work. And whereas for over 90 years, the League has held the public trust by respectfully bringing elected leaders and the public together through nonpartisan civil means and through thoughtfully advancing solutions. And whereas the city of Mobile has benefited tremendously from the countless volunteer hours donated by League members to enhance our democracy. Now therefore, I, Lavancy Manzi, council member of District 2, along with the mayor and members of the Mobile City Council, do hereby proclaim Saturday, April 29th, 2017 as League of Women Voters of Alabama Day in the city of Mobile, and urge all our citizens to join with us in paying great tribute and respect to the League of Women Voters of Alabama for all that they do to make our community healthy, vibrant, and strong. Done at the city of Mobile, the 29th day of April, which is post-dated and is signed by me, and it's on behalf of this great city council and our mayor. We thank you all for all that you do to engage our public civically. I've had the opportunity to attend some of your lunches where you have very thoughtful speakers running the gamut of issues and concerns in our community, and our community is made better by your engagement. And we thank you, and we hope you all have a wonderful convention here in the city of Mobile. Congratulations.
I just want to say thank you to all of you for this honor of proclaiming Saturday as League of Women Voters Day. And we're very excited about having the other 5 leagues here in Alabama to come to Mobile for their state convention. And We are in the process of changing guard here. Mary Ann Hall Wilson will be our next president. And the league has been established since 1920, and it has been at first a women's organization, but is now open to both men and women. We are the largest league in the state of Alabama with over 100 members. We are definitely nonpartisan. We do not support or oppose any candidate or political party. And we we encourage through informing citizens and encouraging them to engage in civic activities is our main policy. I think mainly our focus really is in broadening our awareness of the issues that affect our everyday lives. So we're very honored by this.
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
And we approve of your choice here for the Transparency
Yes,
Award too,
we-
by the
we
way.
are honored.
Yes.
Truly looking forward to that
Madam President.
Yes, sir, Mr. Davis.
If I could just say a few words. First of all, I'd like to commend the League of Women Voters for their long service to our community. Civic participation is vitally, even critically important to the survival of any republic, and I commend you for your work over a long number of years. I'd also like to commend our colleague, Ms. Rich, on her selection. It comes as no surprise to me that she was selected for the Transparency Award. I would say that certainly including me, I'm not aware of any member of the council who has the appetite for detail that Ms. Rich has. And I appreciate her pouring carefully through all these various and sundry and awfully tiring matters that are presented to the City Council, and letting us know particular issues that she sees coming up. So I want to again commend Ms. Rich for her long service, and she's very much entitled to this award that's coming up to her.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam President,
Mr. Richardson?
you can't hide from Bess.
All right, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hope you have a wonderful event this Saturday. Thank you. All right.
Monthly finance report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is not strictly financial in nature, but the mayor called this morning and thought you might want to hear this.
Okay.
You may know that Carnival has been exceeding all of their expectations and ours also by being at about 117% of capacity in their sailings through this time. How do you get to 117%? Well, you have more family members squeezed into cabins. And Carnival has been operating 4- and 5-day cruises that obviously begin here, and then depending upon the length of the cruise, they travel to Mexican ports, Progreso and Cozumel primarily. Well, many people, maybe you, but certainly cruisers and a lot of the agents who schedule cruises for people, groups and individuals, and also the administration have been asking Carnival to consider some more lengthy cruises that might take in other ports. And Carnival is announcing today, through their network of agents, that they are going to be experimenting with cruises that last 7 days and 11 days and go outside of Mexico to other ports of call, including the Panama Canal for partial Panama Canal journeys as part of a cruise, and of all things, Key West. So we have a lot to hope for. We hope those cruises are successful, but it looks like Carnival is happy enough to be experimenting in a very good way. So Mayor thought you would want to hear that.
Did the mayor tell you what the timeline would be on when this will start?
Yes, it's starting immediately, but the longer cruise, they're experimenting with some shorter cruises that have more days at sea, some alternatives that don't involve additional ports. But the ports that I mentioned to you will begin in November of 2018.
2018.
Which means that Carnival has started expanding their schedule beyond our contract.
Yeah.
To November of 18, which means that they are jam-packed for the foreseeable future.
Well, that's great news. We appreciate that, Paul. I know that Stacy Hamilton with Visit Mobile has been involved with some travel agents as well as the Cruise Association. They've been meeting, so they're getting the word about Mobile and Visit Mobile, and that we are definitely born to celebrate, and we'll certainly be celebrating this news. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you. In the financial report, it's been good news and bad news to this point, as you recall. The bad news being revenues not where they need to be, primarily because of the failure of sales taxes to get to where we had projected that they would be. Sales taxes actually are about $3.3 million under projections at this point. Christmas was very damaging for sales taxes. We were about $1.8 million under projections and $1 million under 2016 Christmas. And what that means, obviously, is that people are doing much more shopping online during holiday periods. For the rest of the year so far, we've seen smaller drops in sales taxes. It's liable to continue. At least that's what we're starting to be able to come to you and project. The good news is that departmental expenditures have stayed in line. As you know, we've been trying to keep a lid on hiring and overtime and a lot of the manageable expenditure side of things. I think I mentioned maybe several months ago that one of the brightest spots, though, is what's happened because of the council and the mayor's commitment to maintaining a better fleet. Police cars, fire trucks, garbage trucks, the things that wear out quickly. It's almost invisible if you don't replace them, but if you don't, you start experiencing tremendous costs in terms of garage expenses, replacements of engines and things of that nature. We brought the garage budget down a couple of $1 million this year because of the upgrades in fleet. But so far this year, they are traveling another $1.5 million under budget. So they are quickly becoming not so much a garage, but a manager of maintenance contracts and managers of all of the items in the fleets, making sure that they get replaced on time and that they don't become, tremendously expensive for us to maintain. Now that we see probably where we're heading for 2017, we are starting the 2018 budget process. Departmental meetings with Celia and her folks will begin next week. We hope to have the budget, made in plenty of time to take care of any adjustments that we see because of what happens in May and June, but to have a good model for how we're going forward for 18. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, any questions of Mr. Wesch? Joel?
I really don't have any questions for Mr. Wesch, Madam President. I would just like to say that I had an opportunity to discuss the revenue situation very briefly with Mr. Wesch this morning, and we determined that it would probably be a good idea to have a to have a finance committee meeting in the near future in order that the finance committee might get a little better understanding of the trends in our revenue, especially as we come up to the 2018 budget cycle, because obviously an environment where we have declining revenues presents challenges in terms of the upcoming budget. So sometime in the next several weeks, we'll be asking to call a finance committee meeting to spend a little bit more time on this issue.
All right, thanks. Anyone else? Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Ms. Lambert?
Adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Public hearings today. It's a public hearing to determine if the structures at 1479 Fairfield Street, 1005 Texas Street, 1857 Hertel Street, 1455 C Street, and 172, also known as 160 Lincoln Boulevard, are public nuisances and ordering them repaired or demolished.
This is a public hearing. If there's anyone in the audience who would like to speak to any of these, please come down to the podium.
Good morning, Madam President. Good morning. Council members. I'm inquiring on 1479 Fairfield Street. It's my father's childhood house that was passed down from cousins to cousins to cousins, and they just left it abandoned. Prior to the day, I was going to have the fire department use it as a training exercise. As me and Jason Rudolph yesterday walked the property, he said he couldn't do it because the roof has collapsed. So today, I need to get an extension from about 6 months to a year so I can have it safely and efficiently torn down and have the property cleared off.
Okay, as you know, today is just a public hearing to determine if the structures is a nuisance in order to be repaired.
Yeah, it's
demolished.
beyond repair. I know it has to be torn down. So,
that's basically it. We would just like for you to go ahead and repair it. If you do need an extension on the time, David Doggenbaugh is up in the corner. David,
Yeah.
wave your hand, and you can just get with him and talk about an extension, and we'll be happy to work with you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sure, you're welcome.
All right.
Anyone else? This is a public hearing. If anyone is in the audience who would like to speak to any of these properties, please come on down to the podium. Okay, with that then, the public hearing is closed.
Appeals, we have requests for waiver of the noise ordinance on May 27th in Rickaby Park, April 29th in Public Safety Memorial Park.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion on these? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. We have one.
We have Dr. Woods
Yes, there's one before. Glennis Kelly.
and Glennis Kelly.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Glennis Kelly. This is my husband, Frank Kelly. He's the one going to speak on the matter.
Yeah, if you'd give us your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Frank Kelly. My address is 4633 Cochran Road in 8 Mile.
The address we're talking about.
The address of the property is 302 and 304 Gaston Street. I've got a 9-apartment complex there, and over the last year, we've been having quite a few drug and prostitution activities. At this point, I've done pretty much everything that I feel like I can do personally to attempt to get, some relief, because basically they pretty much ran all of my tenants away. They're breaking into some of the buildings that have been run away, that the tenants had left. I have, like I said, pretty much done everything. I've called for close patrols. I've called the police. I went to visit my precinct. They said they couldn't do anything. I've called the narcotics division perhaps as many as 10 times. I haven't gotten a phone call back at all. Just a couple of weeks ago, I got a letter from the property forfeiture office, specifically saying that I'm not doing anything, in terms of trying to get these guys and the ladies from out there, and that's not true. So what I'm here today to specifically ask if there's anything that anyone, specifically, my understanding is my district is, Councilman is District 2, to see if there's anything that I can do other than what I've done, or again, ask you all's assistance, because so far I haven't gotten any cooperation from anyone. And at this point, I'm losing about $3,000 a month in income potential income based on the fact that I haven't been able to get any of these guys from over there. My wife and I, we go there quite often, sometimes every day, to kind of babysit the property, run the guys off, and they're trying to intimidate us, because we are there trying to help. So again, I'm here to ask if there's anything that you all can do or anything that I can do other than what I've been doing to try to get some relief, because again, I can't rent them, and they're breaking in, you know, in the middle of the night. And when I do rent them, the tenants pretty much have to leave just after a month or two.
All right, appreciate it. Our Executive Director of Public Safety is here. Jimmy, do you want to speak to this?
Yes, the letter that he received is because of a narcotics investigation on the property, because of narcotics violations occurring on the property, and it's certainly not an indication that he's involved, but it more or less, whenever there's a search warrant executed on a property involved to facilitate drug activity, we've made it a part of our process to notify the property owners of the narcotics investigation. And so that's all they're doing, is notifying you of that. They should have provided you with any legal means to get people off the property or out of the property, but I think what I'll need to do is talk to him and make sure the precinct captain gets maybe a no trespass affidavit on it, so that they can begin to enforce people that are violating or entering your property unlawfully.
I've got no trespassing and no loitering signs pretty much posted everywhere. In fact, they even steal the signs, unfortunately. They turn my lights out. I got quite a few lights all around the place. They go in and screw the bulbs out, shoot the lights out. So it's quite a problem that I need some help with, because again, I've done everything that I think I can do.
Okay.
The good thing is that we've got a property owner that does want to work with us to clean the property, and let me get with him and get that information over to the precinct captain so that we can begin the process of working with him. And again, if we need to enforce the no trespass for you, we'll do that.
That sounds great.
Right.
I appreciate
thank you.
you all.
Mr. Manzi, did you want to?
Well, I just wanted to say to Mr. Kelly and to Mrs. Kelly that I think you are in the right man's hands. You may be intimidated by them. I assure you he is not. And it's totally under his purview as the Executive Director of Public Safety, along with our newly sworn-in police chief, to provide the safety that you all are requesting, and I'm assured that they're going to do just that. I just would ask, because I do get a lot of complaints about that area, as you repopulate that apartment complex, because what is happening, people who you're into are selling drugs. That's when you boil it down. That's what's happening.
I'm glad you mentioned that, and I apologize for the interruption.
Yes, sir.
But everyone that I thought was selling drugs have been evicted. And I can even go as far to say that I've actually went and locked the doors, you know, and I know that wasn't necessarily the right thing to do, but I locked the doors to lock them out, and I told them to call the police because I want them to call the police so we can discuss it, because I know what they're doing. Right now, there's no one in the area doing that. There's only 2 tenants out of 9, because again, I've had to put at least 4 or 5
Okay,
of
so you've
them
only
over
got
the
2
last 6
tenants
months.
now. Okay.
Well, again, however I can be helpful, but the most help that you're going to really receive is going to be from Public Safety Director Barber, and he's committed to working with you.
Okay, can I just wait to meet with you, or can I set up?
I'm going to come around because I'm very interested in the fact that you want to help clean up that property, but I do agree with the councilman that the fact that you got that letter means that we have verified that drugs are being sold from the property. And so,
and I'll also say one thing. I've
Madam
got
President?
2 letters.
Hang on,
The
Mr.
people that were
Williams.
on the letter, they weren't in the apartment. They were breaking in.
Well,
So
we
I
have-
can't do anything
All
about
right.
them breaking in and
Well, I'll tell you what, the Executive Director of Public Safety is going to come around and meet with you and get information, and y'all can try to work out this. We appreciate you coming, and thanks to Chief Barber here for getting involved and helping.
Well, thank you all for listening.
Sure.
Y'all have a good.
You're welcome.
Dr. Crawford?
Hi, good morning. How are you all
Morning.
doing? I am Stephanie Woods Crawford, Bureau Director of Environmental Health and Preparedness for the Mobile County Health Department, and this is also Brad Phillips.
And I'm the Director of Inspection Services.
We wanted to address you this morning about the issue of crawfish being cooked and outside on sidewalks downtown. It is important to understand that the bars in question do not have the proper facilities to cook inside or outside of their establishments. Our office received a complaint about the bars cooking crawfish, and our inspectors did their duty by going up and following up on the complaint. The inspectors discovered that the bars did not have the proper facilities to cook the crawfish nor dispose of the wastewater from the boil. And there were cut potatoes and sausages within Walmart bags, shopping bags, which the bar employees stated that they had cut the potatoes and the sausages and placed them in the bags at their home. It is extremely important to understand that Walmart grocery bags and all store plastic bags have different chemicals and pesticides within them that is not used for food grade foods, and it's not designed to use it for food services or preparation of food. As a public health official and employees of public health, it is our duty and responsibility to protect the community, even when the community doesn't want to be protected. It is our duty to enforce the code as it is written by FDA and the state. The Center for Disease Control estimates that each year there are roughly 76 million people that become ill or sick to foodborne related illnesses. 300,000 are hospitalized yearly, and 5,000 individuals die each year, and that is just one too many. If you have ever had or experienced a foodborne illness, then you understand the concerns and our duty to protect our community, because Mobile has had its share of foodborne illnesses that has affected our tourism and the community as a whole. I have had the opportunity to sit down with the bar owners and managers to discuss the code and the regulations. Last year, during a meeting with them, they were informed to submit a variance requesting and outlining their processes and procedures for cooking crawfish outside. That health officials would work with them to review the variance and ensure that the proper food handling and processes would be used in order to follow them. And we would take it to our board and Board of Health in order for approval. A year passed, and on the day that one of the bar owners decided to cook crawfish again outside, I received an email with an outline of his recipe, which is not the processes or procedures of how that food would be handled. I informed him that the state had adopted the FDA's 2013 food code and that the state had removed our ability locally to grant variances by a local health officer or our board. We no longer are allowed to grant any specific variance as it refers to food and food-related issues. However, we worked with them and tried to find some type of solution for them by suggesting that the bars pick a particular day or weekend and hold a special event like other non-food service organizations, such as our Gumbo Cook-Off and Cajun Cook-Off that is held yearly, which would be held in a central location with the proper waste disposal and facilities. The inspectors and I would be more than willing to assist them in finding some type of solution for this and the proper location for them to hold it. If this option did not work for them, we also suggested that they obtain cooked crawfish and from a permitted establishment in order for them to give it away underneath their current permit. I personally wanted to know, how did the establishment restaurants downtown feel about them not abiding by the code and the rules and cooking on the sidewalks without the proper facilities? My team surveyed 56 restaurants, and we received responses from 47 of those restaurants. Out of that, 75% of the restaurants' owners and managers stated that no, they are not in favor of the bars being exempted from the FDA code or Alabama Department of Public Health's code and regulations. As citizens of this community, we are not against the traditions or the culture which is unique to Mobile. We want all businesses to be successful and to thrive. It is not our intent to close or shut down any of the establishments, but we do want to ensure that the health of this great community is protected as our mission states. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you today and to address this issue that pertains not only to District 2, but also to all districts in our tourism.
All right. Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate Mr. Manzi inviting you to come and speak. Are there any questions while Dr. Crawford is here? Mr. Manzi?
A question per se. I am appreciative of the information that Dr. Crawford has provided us. This has been a quite contentious issue over the last 2 or 3 months in the downtown area, and I'm happy to hear all of the outreach that the health department has made to our local downtown bar and restaurant owners. And again, I'm hopeful and open to an amicable resolution, and appreciative of all that you all have done to get us to this point and to come down and provide us with this information.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I have a question.
Mrs. Rich?
Are you aware of the legislation in the State House that's gone to the counties committee?
Yes, we are.
Are you working to see whether there's a resolution on that side of the aisle?
Yes, we have, and our health officer, Dr. Eichel, has spoken with Representative Wilcox, and we are preparing some type of communications with her as well.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Lambert?
Ordinance is held over 34016. If there's no objection, I'll take both of these together.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. 34016 and 22017, ordinance to amend Chapter 34 of the Mobile City Code concerning the dates of the back-to-school sales tax holiday, and ordinance to amend the fire code of the City of Mobile.
So move.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolutions held over 37196, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a lounge retail liquor Class 1 license to Reflections Ultra Lounge on North Water Street.
Move to lay over 30 days.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
2021-222, authorized contract with Micor Inc. doing business as MDS Construction for Fry Park basketball court resurfacing and park furnishings.
So move.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, Madam President.
Mr. Small?
I would like to say to the citizens of District 3, Fry Park is located in the Maysville area. This what's before us today is dealing with the basketball court resurfacing and also park furnishing. In the next round of CIPs, we are looking to look at a couple other parks that's in the Maysville area, especially Wash Park. Wash Park is one of the reasons why I voted for the CIP. Wash Park is a park that's located in the Maysville community off of Dolphin Island Parkway, where the kids there do not have basketball nor any other type of playground equipment. Matter of fact, they just have abandoned tires in that particular park to play with. So I'm glad to see that this phase of Fry Park is coming before us today to improve Fry Park, and I'm looking for the next round of CIPs so we can improve Wash Park, but it could be a better playground and a park, not only for the kids, but for the community at large. Thank you, Madam President.
All right, thank you, Mr. Small. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll take the next two together. That is 01224 and 21225, authorizing agreement for the acceptance of and processing of source-separated recyclables with Emerald Coast Utilities Authority, and authorizing contract of Amways LLC for the rental of equipment to collect and transport recyclables.
Move to lay over to May 16th.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
40227, declare the structure at 54 North Cedar Street a public nuisance and order it repaired or demolished.
Move to approve with the amendment that it would be ordered to be repaired or secured.
All right, Mr. Manzi has an amendment to change the language to say restore or repair, or secure or repair. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Do we get a second?
Second.
Oh,
I'll second it.
yeah. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Do we need to take the amended version now, or, okay.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
6228, approve the proposed fiscal year 17-18 capital improvement plan.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr.
Madam
Richardson?
President, I'd just like to, as an item in here dealing with Grand Boulevard, I'd just like for the citizens on Grand Boulevard to know that we're going to address the flooding of your street in this ordinance from 1997 to 2016. My office was not assigned one dime for capital projects, but in 2016, the council extended the penny, created the CIP funds, and $3 million to each one of our, was given to each one of our districts over for 3 years. First year, I dealt with Dome Street drainage, where water was coming inside of the businesses. Last year, I gave $75,000 for the engineering study to find out why were the streets, the houses on Grand Boulevard, the street being flooded. This year, $350,000 being allocated to stop the flooding on Grand Boulevards. I want the citizens to know that we are adding $350,000 to prevent your street from flooding anymore. So I acted as fast as I could. When I got some money, I went straight to the problem, and the problem will be fixed. Thank you, Madam President.
All right. Anyone else?
Yes.
Mrs. Rich?
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Diane Irby for working with my office and everybody else that interfaced and all the different departments to make sure that all the needs of the capital needs of the district were reviewed and prioritized. I also appreciate the fact that there'll be some notes on the sidebar that I was able to achieve with her concurrence, and I look forward to a good capital year in the next cycle. And I also would like to say, since we're hearing from our finance director, the issue of how we proceed with funding these improvements, I'm hopeful that the City Council, along with the administration, will be looking at resources other than a sales tax. And I've said that in the past, and I think it will be time to do that in the next cycle as well. But thank you.
All right. Anyone else? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And before we move forward, I'm going to have to be excused. This is my mother's 80th birthday, so I have to get moving to go down and celebrate with her, and I'm going to turn the gavel over to Mr. Richardson for the rest of the meeting.
Wow, how nice. Enjoy.
Ordinance has been introduced for the first time. 30018.
Motion for the suspension of the rules for immediate consideration of ordinance 03229 through 58241.
No, we're doing ordinance.
This ordinance was laid for 1 week by council rules.
Yes. Consent resolutions being introduced for the first time. 03229 through 58241.
Motion for the suspension of the rules for immediate consideration of ordinance
Resolution.
resolution 03229 through 58241.
Second.
He's got a second. All in favor?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
03229, reappoint Theodore Blunt to the Electrical Examiners Board.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It passes.
37, I'll take the next ones, next four together, if there's no objection. 37-230, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license to OK Bicycle Shop on Dolphin Street. 37-231, recommending approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail beer, table wine, off-premises only license to Central Stop on Houseberry Road. 37-232, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a manufacturer license to Serta Brewing Company on Government Street. 37-233, recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a retail beer on off-premises license to Pie 5 Pizza Company on Airport Boulevard, Suite D.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It passed.
I'll take the next ones together. 40, 234, 235, 236, 237, and 238 are declaring the structures at 1479 Fairfield Street. Oh, I'm sorry, without 235.
Right.
240, 230, I'll just take 40, 234. Declaring the structure at 1479 Fairfield Street a public nuisance, ordered, repaired, or demolished.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
40, 235, declare the structure at 1005 Texas Street a public nuisance and order it repaired or demolished.
I'd like to offer an amendment on 40, 235 to change the language to repair or secure.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Back to the original motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It passed.
Okay, now 40, 236, 237, and 238 are declaring the structures at 1857 Hertel Street, 1455 C Street, and 172, also known as 160 Lincoln Boulevard, public nuisances and ordering them repaired or demolished.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
It passed.
58, 239, 240, and 241 are assessing costs for removal of weeds, repeat weed lien group G7, group 1546, and group 1542.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
CIP resolutions being introduced for the first time, 21-242 through 21-243.
Motion to suspend the rule for immediate consideration of 21-243 and 242 level for 1 week by council rules.
Oh, so you're doing both, laying both of them over?
No.
Oh,
We're gonna
just
immediate-
242.
Committee consideration 43 and 42 will be laid over by rule.
Right.
Okay. We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay. 21-243, authorized contract with Espalier Landscape Architecture for field condition improvements, various parks citywide, various
moved.
locations throughout the city of Mobile.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Resolutions being introduced for the first time, 01-244 through 46-251.
Those resolutions will level for 1 week by council rules.
Public hearing. Call for public hearings scheduled May 23rd, 41-250. Call for public hearing to rezone property at 108 and 114 Center Street and 75, 79, 113, 123, and 129 West Drive, east side of West Drive, 120 feet north of Farron Woods Court, extending to the west side of Center Drive, 625 feet south of O'Shell Road from R1 to R3.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It passed.
Announcements.
John?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. It's another great day in Mobile, Alabama, and boy, we couldn't beat the weather. It is, as we go into the summer, it seems like there's more people out walking their dogs. And it has been brought to my attention on a number of occasions, whether or not it's one of our parks or within individual neighborhoods, that some may not be aware of an ordinance that's been a long time on the books here in Mobile, and that is a responsibility of owners. And so I just simply ask everyone to be a good neighbor, be a good dog owner, to pick up after your dog, to have your dog on a leash, and make sure that your dog is registered with the city of Mobile and has all its vaccinations. We have plenty of opportunities for people to rescue dogs, to be a dog owner. We have pet stores throughout our city that will help you in caring for that animal, but certain things fall directly on the citizens' shoulders. And the people that have called me, I've just simply asked them that if they have an individual incidents that they would like to bring to the attention of the city, you can do so by calling 311. And Animal Control will do whatever they can. The Mobile Animal Shelter will help you to get to the facility or to educate your neighbors in any way that might be helpful. But picking up after them, having a leash, vaccinations, those things are directly responsibility of each individual owner. And I just ask that we be good neighbors. Thank you.
TJ.
Thank you, Vice President Richardson. First, I would like to acknowledge a student that we have in the audience, Ms. Cynthia McCord. Would you please stand? She had joined us this morning, and she was able to sit down and interview me this morning. I thank her for coming out, and also Ms. Anitra Henderson for bringing her to my office. It was a pleasure in talking to her this morning. I think you have another student with you this morning?
There are some students from the University of South Alabama that have come to the city council meeting for social work. So we met them along the way coming into city council.
Yeah. We'd like to thank you for all your hard work also, Ms. Henderson. And thank you, Ms. McCard, for coming out down to City Hall on this morning. On this past Thursday, I had an opportunity to host a small business resource fair at the Gilliard Elementary School. It was a great success. We had many presenters there to talk to the many citizens that had came to find out about more opportunities to deal with business with the city and others individuals, businesses that we have throughout the city. I'd like to thank Ms. Kidd and Mr. Rose for help to facilitate this great job fair that we had on this past Thursday at the Gilliard Elementary School. Again, it was a great success, and also like to thank Gilliard for opening up their doors. On last Friday, I had an opportunity to go to the Mobile County Health Department summer block party on DIP campus. It was a great success. We had many students to come through and also residents to come through and to learn more about their health. And I'd like to thank the Mobile County Health Department for taking out the opportunity to deal with the citizens and students along the 36605 area code in the Dolphin Island Parkway area. On this past Saturday, Councilman Williams and myself, we had an opportunity to attend the 7th annual Great Drift Perch Creek. It was a great success. This year was the biggest one. They had 154 people to attend and to participate in the Great Drift Perch Creek event. And again, I would like to thank the Dog River Revival for putting this together for our community to show off the greatness that we have along the Mobile Bay and Dog River area. Also, speaking of the job fair and the resource fair, South Alabama Regional Planning Commission was one of the presenters at the resource fair. And they also is holding their 19th annual Business Expo Job Fair, which will be held on Thursday, May the 11th, 2017, at the ground, which is also known as the Mobile Greater Gulf States Fair. This business job fair will take place at 9:00 a.m. until 2:00 p.m. For more information, you can call 251-652-0585. Again, at 251-652-0585. And again, this is the 19th annual Business Expo and Job Fair, which will be held at the grounds, also known as the Mobile Greater Gulf States Fairground, on May the 11th, 2017, from 9 a.m. to 2:00 p.m. And just remember that District 3 is a place where things are happening. Thank you.
Beth?
Thank you very much. Just would like to remind everybody that tomorrow volunteers will be greatly appreciated at the Senior Center, the Connie Hudson Senior Center on Hillcrest at 1 o'clock. The Connie Hudson Senior Center Foundation will be honoring everybody who gives of their time, talents, and resources by being a volunteer at that center. So I hope others will join me in that celebration. And again, that's tomorrow, Wednesday, at 1 o'clock at the Senior Center. Also, I'd like to remind everybody to get on the calendar for May 27th, which is Memorial Weekend. The Pops Band will be out at Medal of Honor Park with a free concert. So if you're in town, please join us for that wonderful celebration. Again, that's Saturday, May 27th at Medal of Honor Park in the Pavilion. Thank you.
Okay. Joel? DeVon?
Yes, sir. I'd like to start the announcements by thanking AT&T and Mr. Glenn Agnew. My office reached out to him, and they were responsible for securing 2,800 passes to the hit film Hidden Figures. Students from Williamson, Rain, LaFleur, Murphy, and the Alabama School of Math and Science had an opportunity to witness and view this film free of charge last Wednesday and Thursday, and the last group of students will go on this coming Thursday. I'm appreciative of Superintendent Martha Peake, Ms. Karen Moore, Ms. Marion Steinfels, and everyone that was responsible for coordinating the logistics with this great effort. It was done kind of in a short time frame, but I've heard from students how appreciative that they are of the opportunity, and I'm appreciative to AT&T and specifically Mr. Glenn Agnew for creating that opportunity for our students. This past Saturday, I went out to the George Hall Elementary School to participate in the 16th annual Comcast Cares. And we worked to build a new play and learning environment between the school's cafeteria and the new multi-purpose building that they have there at the George Hall Elementary School. If you're familiar with George Hall, you know that the parcel of land that the school is on is fully utilized, and so the space there is very scarce. And so now they'll have a play area on the school campus for the students to utilize, and toward the end of this year's CIP year, as a result of funding that we've allocated, they'll have a brand new playground in the Maysville community there at the Harmon Thomas Rec Center to also utilize when they need recess and recreational opportunities. On the help me out, Miss. On the 27th, from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., there will be a meeting for residents along Broad Street and along the avenue. You know, the city recently was awarded a Tiger grant that'll be about $21 million worth of resources to totally transform not just Broad Street, because that's the common misconception, not just Broad Street, but also Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue from Broad Street to Roger Williams Housing Development, rather. That meeting will be held at the Stewart Memorial CME Church. Pastor Lewis here, and we're appreciative of him allowing us to come on the 27th from 1 to 7 p.m. so that citizens can see exactly how their communities will be transformed. From new sidewalks, new lighting, a lot of the polling infrastructure with your utility infrastructure will go underneath the ground, and it'll also give you a venue to offer your input as to what you would want to see along these very major corridors. So that's Broad Street and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue on April the 27th at the Stewart Memorial CME Church from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you. Anything from the administration? Okay. I would like to close out by saying that there will be a transformative event this coming Friday in the city of Mobile. The groundbreaking for Publix. It will take place on Florida Street near O'Shea Road at 10 o'clock. I'm asking all citizens, Creighton, Midtown, Trinity Gardens, down the Bay, if you're east of I-65 or west of I-65, I'm asking all citizens to come and witness this momentous occasion of this area is considered to be a food desert. We don't even hardly have a convenience store down through there, let alone a grocery store. We're going to have a tier 1 first class grocery store. Publix is ranked number 2 in the nation, and they're inside of District 1. And we are very appreciative of this, and we're asking the citizens to come out and show support. This will start the construction. It should last about 7 to 8 months, and then the store will open. I would like to announce that another grand event is coming to our city, to District 1. This is the Mobile Youth Orchestra. We title this Concert in the Park, where the youth orchestra is going to come to the amphitheater in the Trinity Gardens Park. It's going to be Sunday, May 7th at 3 o'clock at the Michael C. Dow Amphitheater. And we're asking all the citizens in the area to please come out. We're looking at inviting some of the local churches to bring their choir to open this up. We want this, they came last year, it rained on us, but we still had a great turnout. We hoping that there will be no rain this year. This is going to be a diverse group. They're going to have their own youth director. Last year was a meltdown to see those kids up there mastering those complicated instruments. They were just outstanding. So we asked for them. We found us a sponsor, and we're asking these kids to come back to the amphitheater and perform again. So we're asking everybody to come out to listen to these kids on Sunday, May 7th at 3 o'clock, Tricentennial at the Trinity Gardens Park, Michael C. Dow Amphitheater. No further business before us. This meeting is adjourned.